everyone, my name is Nicola. I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's wonderful to have you, and if you are returning, thank you for coming and spending some more time with me today. So today I'm going to do a stitch with me, and I am working on this piece. This is Tower Bridge. It's by Sophie Kilpatrick and charted by Geckorouge. So I am working across, I'm going to be working across the span of the bridge, the top walkway here. As you can see there on the needle miner, this little bit here, and see what we can do on this piece today. So this will be, excuse me, stitches me with some chat. So I will be going through my lovely comments from you guys. So thank you to those of you who have left me a comment. A little thin on the ground this week. Obviously I missed the video being unwell. So they are going to be a bit thinner on the ground. But thank you to those of you who've left me a comment. Please do continue to leave your comments going forward. And please give this video a thumbs up. Double check. Please make sure that you're still subscribed, because if the YouTube doing its unsubscribe thing, a few people have mentioned this has happened to them. So we're going to pile in, do some stitching, and pick up some of your comments. And see what this stitchy session brings. And I hope everybody is doing well and keeping safe and warm. The weather is definitely taking a downturn. Pretty much every time that Hannah leaves the house, we have the chorus of "It's cold." Autumn has definitely set in, but we still have some nice bright days. It's just that they're cold and bright. Just looked outside my window this morning, and outside my front window, and the people in the house opposite are still sleeping with windows wide open. Don't quite know how they're doing it, but you know, either the heating's on or they don't look like Sherpas and just love the fresh air. But there we go. Everybody's different, aren't they? So, as I said, I do have some comments to go through. So we're going to have a chat about those. I've got Andy with me. Hannah is going to be getting ready for work very shortly. Lauren is also in, excuse me, but not up yet. So yeah, let's crack on. Okay. No, that one. Excuse me, got a bit of a frog this morning still. I'm still a bit congested. Congestion's just taken a little, a minute or so to go away, but hopefully it'll be gone soon. I have drinks to keep me going, so I'm good. Okay. First comment. So we're starting with comments on Flosstube 42. So it's entitled A Retreat, a Cold and a Winter, because it was just after I'd been to the Floss Friends retreat, which I thoroughly enjoyed. The weekend went all too quick, but we did suffer. I'm pretty sure that the ladies who are watching this, who were there, can attest to this. We did suffer the Sunday slump. As soon as lunch was over on the Sunday, we went back to the stitching room. We were all a bit, could just do with a nap. But a wonderful weekend was had by all. So if you are in the UK and you're thinking about joining a retreat, join the Floss Friends UK Facebook group. They do have retreats, and of course there's a big stitch as well, which next year, which I'm really looking forward to. So Jane is the first commenter, Jane22. She says, sorry you have a cold. I hope it gets better soon. I've checked, I'm still subscribed. Yay. Oh, come on. Sorry I missed the live stream. Back to dancing on Sunday evening. No worries at all, Jane. If that is what you do, that is what you do. I'm not quite sure what kind of dancing you do, but I have an aunt and uncle who spent from their 40s, 30s and 40s doing ballroom dancing and on a Sunday, and they loved it, on a weekend, and they loved it. And my aunt and uncle are two very different people in a lot of ways. My aunt is quite, she's reasonably outgoing, but she's a bit she likes things to be right. She's kind of like a softened version of Hyacinth. And then my uncle was a steel worker, and he was quite a sort of a man's man, motorbikes, cars, all that sort of thing, and it was his idea. He wanted to do the ballroom dancing. And sort of dragged her along for the ride. So, but if that's your thing, fabulous. It's a great way of keeping fit and healthy, isn't it? I mean, I can remember in the 90s when like line dancing was all the rage, and that was all thanks to like Billy Ray Cyrus and stuff. Everybody went like, I never did it, but lots of people did like line dancing and stuff. I don't know if that still goes on. Probably does. And then we had the Zumba. Yeah, we had a few sort of dance fitness crazes, haven't we? Zumba was a big one. Never did that either. When I was in my younger years, I would sooner be in a nightclub with a drink, giving it out on the dance floor. There was no particular dance, I just got on with it. I don't even think that we have much of that sort of thing around here. I don't think there is many places where you can go and dance the night away. I'm too old for that shenanigans now anyway. Used to be mini skirts, crop tops, sky high heels, and a drink in hand. The black miniskirt was almost like a uniform in the early 90s when I was a teenager, in my 20s. Oh, here comes Hannah. Oh, chicken. Okay. On Flosstube 41. Stitch with me with the all is vanity piece. Our lovely Sandy comments, I agree with you about the frog comments. I thought it highly entertaining. I really hope things are improving for you and work is less stressful. I'm praying yours and Andy's plans come to fruition for you both. I wish YouTube would stop unsubscribing, as you never get an accurate number of followers. Anyway, just out of interest, have you ever UFO'd a project? Thanks for sharing. Take care. Happy stitching. So, have I ever UFO'd a project? Yes, I have. But I have never UFO'd a full coverage. One of, these designs. The nearest I've had to a UFO was when I started Night Cafe. And I realised it was wrong and I had to restart. But because it's restarted, it's not technically a UFO. But no, there have been, I have put them on hiatus because Avarice was a long stitch. It was 11 years and she was on hiatus for a little while. But in terms of full coverage, no, I've never UFO'd one. I have UFO'd smaller projects, non-full coverage, even things like, like little cover kits. I'm terrible with those. When you get like a little cover kit with a magazine, I'm terrible for counting them wrong. Which is stupid, really, because I can count a full coverage, but I can't count a teeny tiny little cover kit. It's weird. I have got a Dimensions kit, which I started a couple of years ago. I haven't touched it because it's paper. But it's not UFO'd, it's just sidelined. I do intend on picking it up. I've never UFO'd. That is a full, a full coverage, because Dimensions, well, pretty much a full coverage. But no, I've never set down a full coverage project without the intention of picking it up again, if that makes sense. I think the problem is that I'm stubborn, and even if I'm not particularly keen on the subject matter, i.e. when I'm doing it for somebody else, I'm too stubborn to not finish it. That's why probably part of the reason why I track my stitches, because I like to see that my stubbornness is paying off. But great question. But the answer is, looks like it sounds like Hannah might need a bit of help, love. But the answer is never a full coverage.
What's up, Hannah?
Are you okay?
Okay.
All right. Never a full coverage. Yes, small cover kits, and yes, occasionally non-full coverage kits. But to be fair, quite a lot of like the kits that are like A4 size, I tend to be able to complete them. But like I said, I just can't count for love nor money on the teeny tiny ones. It's ridiculous, really. It's almost like they're in such a small space, I'm blind to the counting. And the only restart that I've ever done is my Night Cafe, because I've never needed to restart anything else. So there you have it. It's the only one I counted wrong. Come on. Okay, right, so Jane says, goes back into Flosstube 42. Jane leaves a number comment. She says, oops, hit the wrong button. Bells for Rivendell progress. Thank you, Jane. I have it on good authority that Australian Freddos can help defeat a cold. Any Freddos can help defeat a cold. It was good to see how happy you were talking about the retreat. Yeah, the retreat was wonderful, and as I'm filming this, I think Kelly will be home or getting home. I know she said that she was flying on Monday, which was the 27th. So I would, it's sort of 48 hours later, so I would presume that she has made it safely home. Yeah, retreat was fabulous. One of my favourite things to do. If I could have a retreat 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, I'm there. Sorry, this is a pale colour, so you're not seeing it very much. Donna H says, hello Nicola, I'm just popping on to send good wishes to both you and Andy to feel better soon. Take care and God bless. Thank you, Donna. I think Andy's pretty much recovered, although he still has a bit of sniffles, but I think he's pretty much recovered. I'm taking a little longer. Still congested and whatnot, but I'll get there. Let's part that one, I think. Okay, we seem to be cursed with very pale colours at the moment, but there'll be a big patch of one colour in a minute, so. Try and stitch pale colours when I'm not filming, so you can actually see some of the stitching in these videos. Okay, Loopy Sue leaves me some hearts and smiles. Thank you very much, Loopy Sue. If you guys are happy to leave a comment, even if it's an emoji or comments, gratefully received, because comments and likes help to push my channel through in the algorithm. Okay, what's that colour? Oh, it's a bit darker. It's all right. Okay, Kay says, Stitchify for Kay, says, sorry you have a cold, I hope you feel better soon. Me too. Lovely progress on your projects as always. I love that wee trick of showing the mock-up as the thumbnail on Pattern Keeper. It's much easier to find the right one when you have a lot of patterns on the go like you and I do. I'm glad you had a good time at the retreat. Thank you, Kate. Yes, very, very useful. So I can actually probably show you a bit closer up. Okay, so when you have, just move that. So when you have a pattern and it doesn't show the thumbnail like this, let me just zoom out a wee bit. In Pattern Keeper, press and hold, and then edit chart info, use mock-up as thumbnail, and then save, and then there you go. Much better, much easier, and yeah, you can see exactly what's going on. Brilliant trick. I was delighted to learn that one. It just goes to show that you can you know, still learn something even if you've been stitching for years and years. Every day is a school day. But yeah, it makes it so much easier to see it by the thumbnail. And thanks so much to Jess for showing me that at the retreat. I was delighted. Of course, it makes things much easier as well when I'm doing my Flosstubes, because I can find the pattern so much quicker. Turn that brightness up again. Here we go. Okay, Kelly from Kelly's Quilts Plus, our lovely Kelly, says, hello Nicola, great Flosstube as usual. Thank you, Kelly. I hope you and Andy feel better soon. Congratulations to the winner. And then she says, due to a dead laptop, I am doing YouTube exclusively on my Panasonic tablet. Nothing worse than technical troubles, Kelly, and I do hope you get sorted soon. I do know that you have left me a later comment that you have a new laptop coming. But yeah, nothing worse is it's a real pain in the neck when it happens. But fingers crossed you get sorted. I tend to film exclusively on my phone, and then Andy downloads it to his laptop and edits the videos for me and adds the extra bits and bobs. Then he emails it to my laptop for then for me to upload it to YouTube. So, you know, we kind of go around the houses a wee bit to get there, but yeah. Yeah, a bit. Be nice if there was a quicker and easier way. I'm sure Andy would agree, but yeah, it's the way that works for us. Andy can fit in editing my videos amongst his.
Speaking of stitching, my coat's still got a hole in. They've been waiting 2 weeks to be repaired.
It's not been waiting 2 weeks at all. It's been waiting a week, and if you give it to me later, I will do it.
Been waiting 2.
It's not.
Yeah, I didn't know
Hannah,
to do it before.
don't argue with me. Give it to me later, and I will do it. Okay? Can't say fairer than that, can I? Madam. Okay. Sherry has also commented saying, I hope you and the family feel better soon. I always enjoy seeing your progress on your beautiful projects. I'm still subscribed, but I've heard that others have had YouTube channels saying the same thing, so it may not be just you. No, it's definitely not. I've had a few people saying the same too. I'm still, as I just said, I use markup RXP as I have an iPad, but I always like to hear about tips and tricks, whether they pertain to me or not. So you never know when you might learn something new. I hope to join on Sunday. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it, Sherry? Because markup may have a similar feature. I mean, who knows? I've never used markup. I don't know. But, you know, you're absolutely right. And I guess that even if you do move or also use Pattern Keeper in the future, then, you know, you will have a similar thing. You know, you'll be able to learn or know already the tricks. It's great. It was last Tuesday she gave me that code. Today it's a week and a day, not a fortnight. Okay, Sassy Jacks also comments to say that's an awesome Pattern Keeper tip. Thanks. Don't thank me, thank Jess. She's wonderful. Showing me that at the retreat. I'd never even really looked at it, to be honest. I just knew that I could mark off my stuff on Pattern Keeper. I can change the highlight colour. I can change where I park my thread, and that was about it. Okay. Sharon Fennel, I can't speak, says, hope you feel better soon. Thank you, Sharon. Okay. Patricia Pillin says, I hope you and Andy feel better soon. Thank you, Patricia. Nice progress on your whips. I'm glad you enjoyed the retreat. I certainly did. Certainly did. And she says, again, get well soon. Thank you very, very much. Yeah. Like I said, we're getting there. I'm impatient. And, you know, if I'm ill, I think I should feel better the next day, but it just doesn't work like that, does it? I actually hate being unwell. If I have to have like a sick day from work, it really, you know, gets on my wires because I hate being unwell. Okay, and Tazra the Elder says, I hope you feel better soon. Trying to get over a cold myself. Colds are the worst, I think, because you can still function but just feel like rubbish. I had to think about the most suitable CBeebies word there for YouTube. Yeah, they are the worst. And I mean, I get this one has been quite tough because I've had headache pretty much constantly for like nearly 10 days now, and painkillers and things are just not taking it off. I've had jaw pain, like toothache, but of course I don't have any teeth. Or I need my own, well, I do have my own teeth because I own them, but you know, I don't have any natural teeth. But I've had pain like toothache, which has been uncomfortable, a little bit unsettling actually, but it just won't go away with painkillers. And sleep's not been very good for a while. I actually have a doctor's appointment, so for something else, so I'm going to talk to him about that too, because I wake up tired. You know, like when you wake up, when you go to sleep and your eyelids get very, very heavy, and then it comes to a point that you can't really open them because you're so tired and you're ready to fall asleep. Well, after, 7-8 hours of sleep in the morning, my eyelids are still like that and I can't open them. You know, sometimes I am laid in bed for half an hour just trying to open my eyes. So and then the days that I don't need to be up, I'm out of bed. No problem. Like a kitten. When we were away in September in Cromer, no problem getting up. Didn't need to be up, but got up without an issue. Need to be up for work. Forget it. Body says no. I think I just don't want to work. Do any of us? We'd all love to just be able to retire, wouldn't we? Mona says, I hope you recover soon. Thank you, Mona. And then Sharon Butler says, I just resubscribed. They took me off. So there you go. So people are getting this. And like I said, I know I'm not the only channel affected. I watch some other channels that are not, some that are Stitchy related, but quite a lot that aren't Stitchy related. And you'll think, I'm sure I'm subscribed to that channel. And I've done it myself. I'm sure I'm subscribed and found out that I'm not. And then the content creators have been saying, just check that you're still subscribed, because I seem to be losing subscribers by the dozen. But I don't think you've had any problems, have you, love?
No.
I did raise this with YouTube, and a week ago, and I've had no response, which I think is rather rude, but there you go. Okay. Nice when you get a little patch of one colour. I feel like I've actually done something. Okay. So Ruthless says, get to feeling better soon. Thank you very, very much. Okay. That one. And then our lovely Mona says, prayers for you and Andy. Thank you, Mona. And then congratulations, Lisa. Lisa, of course, being the winner. She has claimed her prize, by the way. So that has all been done and dusted. And I hope she enjoys stitching it. Okay.
There.
Yeah, plenty. Why?
I need a pair.
Oh, come on.
I think all mine are
All right. Anna, I'm recording a video.
Sick of bloody socks it was, never getting them back, and we said buy 10 million more.
Right, well, yeah, go through that one, find a pair.
Find some socks. Right. Michelle Stitchmania Stash says hope you feel better soon. Thank you, Michelle. Do apologise for family interruptions.
Hey, people like realism.
I know, but I'm trying to speak and you guys are interrupting me.
Well, if I actually got my socks returned, this wouldn't happen.
All right, enough. My goodness, you're so prickly lately. Okay. Cheryl Randleman says, hoping you recover quickly from your cold. Sending get well wishes. Thank you, Cheryl. Okay. That one. Okay. Daphne Chamberlain says, great progress this week. Glad you had a great time at your retreat. Hope you and Andy both feel better. Thank you, Daphne. It is. Right, okay. Okay, Katinka says, very nice stitchy updates. Thank you, Katinka. I hope you're doing well. And then Cross Stitch Jess, who is a lady I met at the retreat with the pattern keeper tip, has also popped on and commented, said it was lovely to meet you and discover your channel. I'm glad the pattern keeper tip was so useful. Hope you feel better soon. Thank you, Jess. Yes, and I, as I'm sure that you've heard, lots of people who watched the video have also commented that it's been useful too. or certainly some people. I shared it as well in my live streams too. Okay, where am I here? And it was definitely, I mean, for me, it just blew my mind. You know, when I sat and thought about it, you know, it's just a struggle when you can't see the actual image. Right, bring your coat in and put it on your seat so I can sort it out today.
That sleeve there.
On a sleeve, right, just put it, oh, right there, it's fine, that's fine. I'll sort it out for you today. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Just move a wee way. That's better. Okay, love your haul from the retreat, says Aussie Craft Mum. Yep, I was very lucky. I got some lovely gifts and other bits and bobs. And I can attest, and so can the family, that Australian Freddos are indeed delicious. Although a touch smaller than the UK ones, we don't mind that. All right, have a lovely day. You finished at 3?
Yep, the lorry's meeting me with it down Park Gate.
Okay. Love you. Bye. She's been a bit prickly the last few days. I don't know what's wrong with her. Heather Pearson says frog free time. Yes, indeed. We like frog free time. I certainly aim to have a frog free time. I'm a fudger rather than a frogger, unless the pattern really does call for me frogging, like stained glass or something. You'll notice on my Lord of the Rings stained glass, I did have a little frog of about 10 stitches because I just put them in the wrong place. Can't fudge that, have to come out. And then Christian Klein leaves me a lovely long comment, and it says, "Hi Nicholas, sending healing hugs to you and Andy. Hope you two get well soon. The retreat sounds so great. I would love to go to one myself, but I think there is no such thing in Germany. I love your projects, especially at Rivendell Castle. I can't wait to see your progress on that piece. Have a lovely week. I would like to think that there would be some retreats in Germany, Christian. If any of my German viewers know of any, do let me know, so that we can pass those on, because retreats are super fun and it's nice to get together in a stitchy setting. So yeah, if anybody does know of any German retreats, just let me know and I can pass it on to Christian. I know that I think there's a lady from Germany, I think she might be from Germany, I couldn't be sure though, that actually comes across to the Floss Friends UK retreat. I'm not 100% it's Germany, it could be Belgium, but certainly somewhere in Northern Europe. And of course, you know, we did have Kelly from Australia, and there's a lady from the USA that regularly attends as well. Of course, I mean, there may even be retreats in countries that border Germany that you could easily get to. I don't know. Always worth having a look. Okay. So then Penelope Rogers says, get well soon. Love seeing your progress on all of your projects. Thank you, Penelope. I'm looking forward to the upcoming year of stitching and getting even more, especially with me rejigging how I'm going to be doing this. The rotation will stay the same, but the amount of stitches will be apportioned to the size of the project. It will make for some interesting stitchy time. And with model stitching coming to a close, I'll be able to put in a bit more on my pieces, so you know, won't be model stitches interrupt us.
Why has Hannah just dumped the coat there?
She's dumped it there because I'm going to repair it. That's the one I need to repair. And then it shuts her heck up about it. 2 weeks. It's been 8 days, not 2 weeks. And did she remind me at all on those 2 days?
No.
8 days? No, she did not. And she asks me always at the most inopportune moment when I'm filming. And, I usually say to her, you need to remind me. And does she remind me? No. So no wonder it sat there for a week, not 2.
You know what Hannah's like?
I do, indeed.
If it's important to Hannah, then you'll know about it.
Yep.
If it's not, you won't.
Well, it's like when we were in Asda's the other night. And Lauren says, Hannah, get some cheese. What did Hannah do? She didn't get the cheese.
Well, technically did.
Well, she did, but she got the wrong kind of cheese. She got my cheese, not Lauren's cheese. But, you know, when Lauren said get the cheese, you'd have thought that Hannah would have twigged to get Lauren cheese, but no.
Yes, Nikki has a certain type of cheese for a diet. Cheese that Lauren doesn't usually eat. And so
yep.
Hannah's obviously got cheese, but the wrong sort.
Yeah. But you'd have thought with Lauren Asker, she'd have twigged Lauren cheese, not mum cheese.
Yeah, but like I've just said, if it's not important to Hannah...
Mm-hmm. Well, Hannah doesn't eat grated cheese, so that's why. It's not one of her safe foods, is it?
No. Sometimes it's hard to know what is a safe food.
You're not kidding. Patricia leaves me some hearts. Thank you, Patricia. And then Sophia says, I hope you get better soon. Happy stitching. That's Sophia at Stitching Love. Thank you very, very much. I'll have some more drinks when you're ready, Rob, please. Stop me going dry. Sounds like Andy needs one too. So I put out a community post last Wednesday to say that I wouldn't be doing a live stream because I felt very unwell. And you can't put your best into a stream when you're not at your best. So I cancelled. And so I put a community post saying, no guys, hey guys, no stream tonight, feeling super rough, been in meetings for work all day and kind of exhausted myself. So there were a number of messages and they all, you know, saying basically the same thing, get better soon. So I'm not going to go through those individually. We will pass through those ones, but thank you all for your get well wishes. It's lovely to know that you guys care. Looks like I parked one in the wrong place there, which means I parked two in the wrong place. So let me just grab another needle. I'm glad I parked these and didn't stitch away because they would have been wrong. So that's the right parking for that one. And then this one needs to move up one. So that one is correct. Okay. Oh. No. One, two, three, four. Yep. No, all correct. Okay. Gabriella Zimmerman says, "Get well soon, dear Nicola. I've gone through the same last week. Nevertheless, I wish you a happy stitching week." Yeah, I definitely think this cold has definitely gone round. You know, so I know that a lot of people have had it. You know, Andy has developed a cough after it. I have not developed a cough, but Andy didn't have the headaches that I had. So yeah, it's definitely something going about, and all thanks to Lauren fetching it home from college. Thank you, my love. Coffee and cross stitch Nicola, great update. Hope you're feeling better soon and that you sort out the subscriber thing. She says, "I'm still subscribed, however, I have had weird glitches on here this week. I commented on someone's video a few days ago, and not only did the comment show up on that video, it also showed up on a video I'd watched a couple of days before, which I'd already commented on with a different comment. And the first I knew was when the Flosstuber replied to the comment." Yeah, YouTube has been very weird. This hype thing as well, I've still not seen it, but I'm hearing less about it now, so whether or not they've taken that away, I don't know. Yeah, it's just all a bit, YouTube is very weird. Okay, what's this one? 29. Okay. Our lovely Sandy says, "Great update. All His Vanity was a great choice. I hope you and Andy don't suffer too long." Same. Glad to hear you lost £2. Yeah, you're back on track. Really pleased that you enjoyed the retreat and met new people. I just wish it was closer. Congratulations to your winner. Take care and happy stitching. Thank you, Sandy. Yep, I wish the retreats were closer too, because I absolutely loved spending the time with you that we spent together a couple of years ago now in Retford. But hey, one day soon, eh? It's always good meeting Stitcher people, but it's also equally good catching up with Stitcher people that you know. Okay. Our lovely Siske has commented as well on Flosstube 42, and she says, congratulations with your finish, and wow, what an amazing amount of stitches you achieved. Great progress. Hope you are feeling better soon and happy stitching. Thank you, Siske. I love watching Siske's videos, especially in the beginning when there's usually a cat or two, sometimes a little dog, but usually a cat. Siske's kitty cats are absolutely beautiful. So if you're a cat fan, definitely pop across and have a look. Deborah Gain. Hey Deborah. Oops, that was a terrific update, she says. As always, your work is stunning. Thank you, Deborah. All this vanity is something my daughter would definitely love. Great choice for a new start. Witch Cat is adorable. I'm always impressed by how much stitching you manage to fit into a week's time. You're such an inspiration. Thank you for sharing your time and your talents with us. Happy stitching. Thank you, Deborah. Yeah, all this vanity is lovely. You know, I mean, to me it's lovely. I mean, for some people it's not their kind of thing. Absolutely get that. But because it was used as artwork, as an album cover, my favourite band, yeah, I had to have it. I would perhaps have preferred it sepia rather than grayscale to match the album cover, but hey ho, you can't have everything. But yeah, I like the composition of it as well more than anything. I think the two different images in one. Still haven't worked out the SQ Stitch app either though. And thank you as well for your lovely comments. I don't tend to see myself as an inspiration, but I do see myself as somebody that encourages people to do their best, you know, to do what they can do, and supports, and you know, with the stuff that we do on the live stream and the milestones, and you know, celebrating the milestones and things. I think that's just really important in a stitcher's journey. It's easy to forget how much we've done because we just focus on the finish. But these projects, as I've always said, take such a long time. If you don't celebrate each milestone and just celebrate the finish, it's a bit of an anticlimax, because like, oh yeah, it's done. Oh, that's nice. Move on. But you know, when you get in, when you're celebrating your achievements in it, you know, you got to 50%, you've zeroed out a colour, you know, that kind of thing. I think it does make it, you know, a better journey. Then Mona comments on my ASMR Van Gogh Never Passed. And she says, not stitching today, just watching your fabulous work. Thank you, Mona. Watching is fine too. Yeah, that Van Gogh swirly pieces, I quite enjoy those. I've titled it up wrong. I've put Van Gogh Never Passed. It was Van Gogh Never Met. I must have meant that. Because Van Gogh Never Passed is, of course, the orange one with CatDalph and the Balrog. interestingly, Paine Free Crafts has released a CatDalph on the bridge barred door pick, except the Balrog is a ginger kitty cat, which is super fun. So if you like Lord of the Rings and cats, Sarah's got you covered. Yeah, a stitch with me, says Jane, and you're sounding much better. Glad the cold is going away. I filmed that stitch with me before it hit. That was filmed on the Monday or the Tuesday, I think. Tuesday. But it really did hit on the Wednesday. So, or after I'd done the stitch with me Tuesday night, Wednesday. So that was kind of the first bit of the gold, rather than the last vestiges, unfortunately. There we go. Kelly is watching your stitch while I eat lunch. Van Gogh Never Passed is looking great. My organised mind enjoys the filling of the confetti and the ninja stitches. Yep, it's always good when you see a patch completely filled in. But as I said, unfortunately, I have made a boo-boo and I've named it wrongly. So I will be going back and changing that. And I've made a boo-boo here too.
Well, you're a plum.
I just put the stitch down in the wrong place.
So you have to frog.
Only that much. Half a stitch.
Okay. I'll let you.
I think you can let me off for half a stitch. And Patricia and Celia on that Van Gogh Never Met both leave me some emojis, so thank you very much, ladies. I've got some hearts, I've got kitty cats, footballs and bobbins and all sorts, so thank you. Okay, and then Mona says on Magpie, I did a chatty stitch with me with Magpie last week. She says, your stitching looks so great on that piece. Congratulations. Thank you. Magpie was the most difficult piece to stitch at one point. Where I seem to have sort of made my peace with it, as it were. And I enjoy stitching on it now. I don't really have a piece that I don't enjoy. You know, I mean, all of my choices are very considered. You know, am I going to stitch it? Is it too much background? You know, how can this one fit in? So I do. I only try and stitch what I love. So yeah. Excuse me. Oh, only 15 more minutes to go, which is good because I need to pee. Patricia leaves me some hearts on Magpie, and Jenna Cook says, I'm still subscribed. I'm glad to hear it. But, you know, please do just keep an eye, guys. YouTube gets up to all kinds of mischief without us even noticing. Okay. Hello, Nicholas, says Kelly. Magpie is such a pretty stitch. The colours of the wings are lovely. We're going to a Halloween party tonight, the 25th. I hope you had fun, Kelly. Yeah, Magpie is beautiful and not a single stitch of black in it. When I matched my colour card to black, there was no black to be found. Lots of blues, greens, purples, bringing out the colours of those wings. So, yeah. And Frida. Hey, Frida. So, Frida comments on my Flosstube 42, and she says, Nicola, you're the reason I bought All Is Vanity. But those blends intimidate me. I've never worked with blends before. Love your nails. Thank you, Frida. Please, please don't be intimidated by blends. All you need is an extra floss card, which you can mark up with the two blended colours so that you can put your excess thread on it. But please, please don't be intimidated by blends. Just be aware. There are a couple of ways of working a blended piece. If you like to work on a smaller count, like 25 count, for example, you should put the darker colour for the bottom leg of the stitch, because usually you'd work one strand. If you're doing full cross on 25 count, one strand, you should put the darker colour for the bottom leg of the stitch and the lighter colour for the top leg of the stitch. Obviously, if you're working tent stitch, you just use both colours on the same needle. But obviously, if you want to do it full cross with two strands, you can do it on 20. But obviously 14, 16, 18 are ideal for two strands, although some people like one strand on 18. And you just work the full cross with both strands if you're doing it over two. But again, if you want to work on 18 or 20 count with one strand, the darker colour at the bottom, the lighter colour on the top. But, you know, all you need is just to make sure that you have an extra thread card for the blended threads. I have a lot of plastic thread cards. Are you talking to someone?
Yeah, myself.
Oh. I have a lot of these. Let me show you. These plastic thread cards. I got them from like Amazon. I put a sticker on and put the thread number on. And I have those. I've got one here that's got my blended threads on it. This one is for Rivendell. So 829 and 830, 317 535, 842 and 3864. So the spare I've not been able to work in, it goes on here, and this is my spare threads for All Is Vanity. I put on the two colours, but I've also put the symbol. Don't know why I haven't put the symbol on this one. I don't know. So yeah, just an extra thread card is all you need, but don't be intimidated by the blends. We used to have hedgehog cross stitch charts. I think they were called Country Companions, and they had a lot of blended threads in it, except they called it tweeding back then rather than blending. And you know that for the hedgehogs prittles, you would use what they called tweeded threads. So you might have you know, a strong brown colour with a pale brown colour. So, you know, it's something that's been around for a while, But you just really have to test out how you want to do it, what sort of fabric you want to do it on, because depending on your count, depends on how many strands, depends on, you know, whether you work top leg in one colour, bottom leg in another, and so on. I opted to do mine on 16 count, full cross with 2, so both colours are on my needle at the same time. Maria says it's a time to get weather to get full of cold this month because I'm suffering from cold, and she says it sounds like you and Andy are full of it. Yep, we absolutely were. Getting better though, slowly but surely. Hopefully normal service will be resumed by the time I put out my next Flosstube. So thank you, Maria. Always good to hear from Maria. She always pops on my live streams and tells me that it's wonderful to do to see the always wonderful to see the she. Start that again. She often pops onto my live stream to tell me it was wonderful to see the She Sleeps finish. And congratulate me on winning my prize as well with it. So yeah. Tazra the Elder says this is one that you'll chuckle at, Andy. It says, "Oh, Andy giving a compliment even when you feel like crap. He's a good man." The ones who know
about that, but okay.
The ones who know how to work what they've got, no matter the size, are the ones that don't need to compensate. The club are those with microscopic size. Yeah. Of course, we are talking about the Eeny Weeny Teeny Peeny Club, as they were out and about last Wednesday when I was filming. Okay, so Loopy Sue on Magpie leaves me some hearts. And then our lovely Lisa S. Stitches comments to say, "Can't believe I won. I will email you now." Yep, you certainly did. And I really, really hope that you enjoy your lovely prize. So I've got a couple more comments. We've actually almost filled this hour and a half. It's great. Buckeye Stitcher, who's Andrea, says, "Oh no, I hope you both feel 100% soon. I have a whole chapter of the Eeny Weeny Teeny Peeny Club in my neighbourhood. I have a lot of motorcyclists and sports cars with very loud exhausts. My next door neighbour has motorcycles and he'll rev it for hours at night. How annoying. It makes me so mad, so inconsiderate. Anyway," she says, "Great video as always. I always love when this piece is out. Love the colours." And that was on my Magpie video. So thank you, Andrea. Oh, sounds like we've got some rain. Becky Snook, "I always love your nails," she says, "but that purple is my favourite." This one, it's kind of a pinky purple. I matched it to 917, to DMC 917. I put in 1200 stitches in my Black Cats and Tulips stitch today. Watching you in replay. Thank you, Becky. And yep, I love my nails. I love having them done. They were definitely getting on the long side and needed doing. So I was like, girls, we're off for a manicure. I only get them done like once a month, so sometimes 3 weeks, but usually it's a month. It's a big expense. You know, they say come back every fortnight, but it's a big expense, so Okay, and Christian leaves me some hearts on Magpie as well. And then my last two comments are from Loopy Sue and Patricia. And they are both on the Sunday live stream. And both ladies leave me some hearts. So thank you very, very much. And that is the end of my comment section. Phew. Lots of comments, more than what I thought actually. So thank you very, very much if you've left me a comment this week. It's always nice to go through them and share with you and reply. It's just the way I like to do it, because otherwise I'd be spending an hour and a half typing out comments rather than stitching. So it's my preferred way. But thank you very, very much. Do keep on leaving comments, hitting that like button, check and make sure you're still subscribed and all those good things. So I only have a couple more minutes left, but just as I am finishing up, just want to again remind you, please just make sure you're still subscribed, hit that like button, leave me a comment. My schedule, I release my Flosstube on Tuesday, Stitching Me Thursday and Saturday, and I do my live stream at 7:30 p.m. UK time Wednesdays and Sundays, barring any sort of disaster that prevents it. But usually they do, we do those. It's only in exceptional circumstances that I don't stream. So for me not to stream if I'm unwell, you know I am genuinely unwell. So there will be 3 videos that come up on your screen in a moment. If you've not seen those, please do go take a few minutes to have a look. They're usually my last 3 videos that I've released. So on this one you should get a Flosstube, a live stream and a stitch with me at the end card. If you're watching this on Saturday, all being well, I will see you for the Sunday stream, the Sunday stitch. But if not, I will see you guys on the next video. So when I've done this stitch, I'm just going to mark off, tell you how many I've done. And we will be rounding off today's video. I have done, just zoom out so you can see the whole thing, 272 stitches. So I'm quite happy with that. Filled in lots of these darker colours. Yes, I've got some park threads to fill in, I don't mind that. And once the camera's off, I will head to filling in some more of the pale coloured stitches. So thank you guys very much indeed for watching. Do take care. Happy stitching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.